When mentioning modern air combat, people might envision this scene: two cutting-edge fighter jets chasing each other through the clouds, with constant radar warnings and missiles streaking across the sky. But if the protagonists were replaced by America's F-22 Raptor and Russia's Su-57 Felon fighters, how would this confrontation unfold? Some believe it would be an evenly matched duel between two titans, while others think it might be a one-sided slaughter due to technological superiority. To determine whether the F-22 or Su-57 is superior, we must first understand their development backgrounds and design philosophies. The origins of these two fighters reflect the mirror images of U.S. and Russian aviation industries, showcasing different era characteristics and technological development paths. The F-22 was developed by the U.S. Air Force during the Cold War's peak with massive funding as an air dominance fighter. In the 1980s, when the Soviet Union's Su-27 and MiG-29 fighters emerged, their exceptional maneuverability was astonishing, and their firepower was formidable, putting significant pressure on America's F-15 Eagle fighters. To ensure air superiority, the U.S. Air Force initiated the Advanced Tactical Fighter Program in 1981. Aiming to develop a fighter that could surpass its rivals in all aspects. The requirements were clear: stealth capability, supercruise ability, and top-tier avionics were all essential. After intense competition, Lockheed Martin's YF-2 prototype defeated Northrop Grumman's YF-3 in 1991. Becoming the basis for the F-22. The first F-20 to successfully completed its maiden flight in 1997 and entered service in 2005. This fighter is equipped with two Pratt & Whitney F119PW100 engines, each producing 155 kilonewtons of thrust. It can achieve supersonic cruise without afterburners. Its airframe extensively uses composite materials, with special coatings, reportedly reducing its radar cross-section to just 0.001 square meters. For enemy radars to detect it would be as difficult as finding a needle in a haystack. The F-22's design philosophy is extremely focused, pure air superiority, aimed at annihilating enemy aircraft. But the F-22's fate is somewhat ironic. After the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, the U.S. lost its direct competitor, leading to drastic cuts in production. Originally planned for 750 units, only 187 were ultimately built. Its production line closed in 2011, with each unit costing $150 million. And maintenance expenses being exorbitantly high. The F-22, while a golden treasure, has seen little combat action. The Su-57's development history has been far more turbulent than the F-22's. Before the Soviet Union's collapse, the McCoy Design Bureau had developed the MiG 1.44 project, intending to create a fifth-generation fighter to rival the F-22. However, the 1991 Soviet collapse and economic crisis killed the project. It wasn't until 1999 that Russia regained momentum, launching the PAC-FA program under Sukhoi's leadership. In 2010, the T-50 prototype later Su-57 successfully completed its maiden flight and was officially delivered to the Russian Air Force in 2020. The Su-57 is powered by two AL-1F1S engines, each producing 140 kilonewtons of thrust, slightly inferior to the F-22. But its 3D thrust vectoring nozzles give it exceptional maneuverability. In terms of stealth, the Su-57's radar cross-section ranges between 0.1 to 0.5 square meters, while significantly larger than the F-22's. It's not without merits. The Su-57 follows a multi-role design philosophy, capable of both air superiority and ground, naval strike missions. Differing from the F-22's air dominance focus, the Su-57's development has been arduous. With funding shortages, technological gaps, and international sanctions plaguing progress. As of 2025, Russia has only fielded about 70 units, far fewer than the F-22. Early testing even saw a prototype crash. Highlighting developmental challenges. Air combat isn't about appearances, but hard performance metrics. An F-22 versus Su-57 duel would hinge on for key factors: stealth, maneuverability, radar sensors, and weapons systems. Stealth is the fifth-generation fighter's greatest advantage, determining who spots and engages first. Here, the F-22 reigns supreme. Its radar cross-section is reportedly just 0.001 square meters, equivalent to a small bird. Its airframe features smooth contours, with intakes hiding engine blades, and internal weapons bays that minimize radar returns. By contrast, the Su-57's stealth is less impressive. Its 0.1 to 0.5 square meters RCS is orders of magnitude larger than the F-22's. This stems from multiple factors: less optimized airframe design, exposed engine nozzles, and visible rivets on early models. The later versions improved coatings and shaping. Its stealth still trails the F-22's. Air combat isn't just about long-range engagements. Close-quarters dogfights test a fighter's mettle. The F-22's twin 155 kilonewtons engines and D-thrust vectoring deliver excellent high-altitude agility. However, its pitch-only vectoring limits yaw control. The Su-57's 140 kilonewtons engines are slightly weaker, but its 3D nozzles enable omnidirectional thrust, combining with Russia's superb aerodynamics for unmatched low-speed agility. In modern combat, radars and sensors are a fighter's eyes. Superior detection means first strike advantage. The F-22's NAPG-77 ESA radar was cutting-edge in 2005, detecting 1 square meter targets at 225 kilometers. But after 20 years of service, it struggles against modern threats. The Su-57's and 036 Bielka radar is more advanced, claiming for 100 kilometers detection range against a square meters targets. It also features an IR/ST infrared search and track system that detects heat signatures without radar emissions. This IRST is particularly valuable against stealth aircraft. While the F-22 may evade radar, its engine heat remains detectable. The Su-57's IRST could prove decisive. However, the F-22's designers anticipated this. Implementing exhaust cooling to minimize infrared signature. Weapons are a fighter's fists. The F-22 and Su-57 employ different arsenals. The F-22 carries AIM-120 AMR AIM is 100 km range and AIM-9X sidewinders. The AIM-120's long reach, combined with stealth, enables devastating ambushes. The AIM-9X uses infrared homing, with extreme agility, excelling in dogfights. The Su-57 fields are 77 medium-range and R-73 short-range missiles. The R-77 matches the AIM-120's 100 km range, while the R-73 features thrust vectoring controls for lethal close-range maneuvering. Russia is also testing the extended range R-37M 300 km, potentially giving the Su-57 future BVR advantages. Specs alone don't determine outcomes. Combat is the ultimate test. If an F-22 and Su-57 actually clashed, what would happen? Modern beyond visual range BVR combat favors radar, stealth superiority. Here, the F-22 dominates. At 200 km separation, the F-22 would likely lock the Su-57 first, while the Su-57's an 036 radar might detect large targets at 400 km. The F-22's minuscule RCS would evade clear tracking. The F-22 could fire AIM-120s, while the Su-57 might only detect the inbound missiles via RWR. Relying on evasive maneuvers and jamming, the F-22's stealth allows continuous tracking for follow-up shots. With high kill probability, military analysts estimate the Su-57's survival rate below 30% in this scenario. If the fight enters visual range, the dynamics shift. The Su-57's maneuverability shines, with 3D thrust vectoring and R-73 missiles challenging the F-22. Though the F-22 carries AIM-9Xs, its stealth becomes less relevant, shifting the advantage to pilot skill. Russian fighters traditionally excel in close quarters combat, while F-22 pilots benefit from extensive U.S. training programs. Dogfight outcomes would be toss-ups. Performance is just one factor. Operational realities matter too. The F-22's fleet numbers 187. But after 20 years, exorbitant operating costs, $60,000 plus, flight and shifting priorities toward NGAD, are phasing it out? Its sole combat kill remains a Chinese balloon in 2023. Ironic for an air dominance fighter. The Su-57's fleet, approximately 70 as of 2025, has seen limited action in Syria. Primarily ground strikes. Upgrades like the Product 30 engine proceed slowly. Due to sanctions, the F-22 versus Su-57 debate is temporal. Both platforms are aging. The F-22's production ceased long ago. The U.S. now focuses on NG-80 6th-gen fighters. The Su-57 continues evolving. But Russia's economic woes limit its potential. So, would an F-22 versus Su-57 encounter be a one-sided slaughter? Not necessarily. The F-22's stealth and BVR edge give it initial advantages. But the Su-57's dogfighting prowess could prove lethal at close range. Victory would depend on engagement parameters, pilot skill, and tactics. To answer the original question, would an F-22 versus Su-57 encounter result in a one-sided slaughter? The answer is an absolute. The F-22's stealth and long-range attack capabilities could indeed catch the Su-57 off guard, while the Su-57's maneuverability and close combat prowess remain formidable. The ultimate outcome would depend on it's never just about technological superiority alone.